The deeper you hike into this dark Oregon forest, the more dreamlike it becomes. I only wish this trek was for pleasure.
Hey, Jay!
Instead, I'm here for the worst of all reasons, to help a mother search for clues in the disappearance of her child.
I look out at this forest and I just think, how are we ever gonna find him in this?
Kyron Horman, a second grader at Skyline Elementary in Portland, was last seen on June 4th, 2010.
That was the day that my world fell apart.
5 years have done little to ease the pain of his mother, Desiree Young.
What happened to Kyron on June 4th, 2010?
He had a science fair at his school, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to go. Living in Medford 4.5 hours away has been challenging at times. And his stepmom was gonna take him to the science fair.
This picture of Kyron beaming proudly in front of his project on the red-eyed tree frog was taken by his stepmom, Terry, just minutes before he vanished.
What time did Kyron go missing?
It was exactly between 8:45 and 8:55.
Yet the school marked him absent that day. In fact, it wasn't until Kyron's father, Kane, and stepmom, Terry, went to pick him up from the bus that anyone realized he was missing. The 7-year-old's disappearance triggered a massive search that captivated the nation. But even in those first agonizing days, Desiree, seen here being comforted by Terry, knew something was amiss. Desiree claims several people told her they saw Kyron leave with Terry Horman.
He was in his classroom. He got the photo taken by Terry, and he apparently, according to eyewitness accounts, multiple adults that can vouch for the fact that Terry walked out the side entrance of the school with Kyron in tow. And we know this because Kyron's friend even saw him with her right outside the school.
Terry denied that she ever left with Kyron, but scrutiny intensified when Desiree claims Terry reportedly failed 2 polygraphs. While Terry's never been charged in Kyron's disappearance, Desiree believes she's the prime suspect.
Who do you believe is responsible for Kyron's disappearance?
Terry Horman, his stepmom.
Do you ever blame yourself?
Yeah, I've blamed myself since day one. I should have protected him. I should have been there that day. I should have done more. And I will forever have those regrets. I will never be able to fix that. And it's the terrible part of this.
Desiree's ex-husband, Kane, stood by Terry until day 22 of the search. That's when he received shocking news from police that Terry wanted him dead. She reportedly even tried to hire a landscaper to kill him.
Before Kyron goes missing, Terry tries to contract someone to murder her husband.
Yeah. I think that's very telling about a person.
Kane immediately sought a restraining order and filed for divorce.
Why wasn't Terry ever charged in the disappearance of Kyron?
I believe, and this is my own opinion, they were ready to charge her. They were ready to swoop in and arrest her. They have probable cause. What happened was Casey Anthony.
In 2011, prosecutors charged Casey Anthony with the murder of her daughter, Kaylee, before the child's body was found. Anthony was eventually acquitted.
Unfortunately, that case changed the way law enforcement will forever prosecute suspects in a missing child case. And it messed up a lot of the prosecution side in the court case. Suddenly, my law enforcement team for Kyron's case started pulling back on the prosecution end of that.
Finding Kyron is Desiree's all-consuming mission, and today, it's led me here
Obviously, we're looking for skeletal remains.
I'm joining over 50 volunteers, some of them Desiree's family, others complete strangers from as far away as Florida, to mark the 5th anniversary of Kyron's disappearance with a search for clues.
If you find something, do not touch it, do not pick it up, do not mess with it, back up, and make sure you call command. This is not just trying to find Kyron and bring him home, it's about making sure justice is done also.
Today's search grid is based on new information Desiree recently received from confidential sources. Those tips have led you to this location.
Yeah, this location and several others. Yeah.
You're compelled to search for Kyron, but do you dread what you may find?
Absolutely, yeah. When I go out in the morning, I hope we find something, and then I don't.
What are you hoping to find?
Answers. We know it. We think she did that day. It's hard for a mom to know that. It's my sweet little Kyron.
It's easy to see why Desiree is so disheartened. Finding anything in this dense and rugged rainforest seems almost hopeless. But then, while our cameras are rolling, a volunteer cries out.
Found a bone.
What?
Someone's uncovered a bone.
We gotta get somebody out here.
Suddenly, we're holding our collective breath, knowing this could be the evidence we've been both dreading and hoping for. Next, cadaver dogs are rushed to the scene.
Potentially would be a femur if it was anything.